I've painted for hundreds of people since college in their spaces, in their homes, and now I have my own home to work on. I have this vision of sitting on this deck, drinking coffee in the morning, and watching the sunsets at night. But the only problem is, this deck looks like this right now. It is a disaster. It is mildewy, it is chipping, and it's somewhere that nobody wants to be. And so I'm going to be transforming this deck in this video, giving it a total makeover by painting it and getting some new cushions. And so stay tuned to the end for the reveal. And I'm also going to be telling the story of how I accidentally fell into entrepreneurship and became a professional painter when I was 19. And as I said in the intro, have painted for hundreds of people since then. And now it's time for me to work on my own home, so let's get started. First, I need to take these window boxes off and get everything ready to power wash and then scrape the crap out of this deck to get all of the extra paint off of it. So that is what the prep part of this job looks like. And one of the best things that I did was put plastic underneath the porch because I did not realize how much paint was going to chip off, and you will see exactly how much paint chips off in a little bit here. But that is how we're getting started on this project. And I got started painting professionally for people, like I said, when I was 19 and I was in college. It was the second semester of my freshman year, and I took this random elective course. And there was this guy in there that was recruiting for people to paint for him that summer, the outside of houses. And I didn't listen to him all semester, and it got to be almost summertime, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if I could just chill outside and listen to music if I worked for this guy this summer. And so I asked him, I said, can I just listen to music? And he said that I could listen to music, but I could not listen to music on my headphones. And that was good enough for me because it was a safety issue. And so I quit my job at Panera Bread, and I was off to be a painter that summer. And I had no business being a painter. I had not done really anything like that before, and I really didn't know if I had what it took, especially when it got hot and difficult out there in the elements during the summertime. And I messed up quite a bit. But I kept at it, and I kept painting for him. But he ran out of work for us that summer. His business failed, and he told us that we were going to be out of work. And so I did something that I have done many times since then. I turned to Craigslist, and I put an ad on Craigslist that I was a painter with my month and a half of experience that was out of work. And I got multiple replies to that Craigslist ad, as one does. But I started working for this lady, working on an army base. And from there, I posted Craigslist ads for my own business. And I started getting my own jobs. And so when I was in college, that was the first iteration of my painting business. And I just wanted to share some footage of me painting over the years because I have a ton of footage like this. And this was more like the second or third iteration of my business when I was living in Bozeman. But I have over the years gone from working, regular jobs, and I actually had a really nice job, corporate job when I moved to Bozeman to begin with. And I just keep going back to painting because I just don't have it in me to work a regular job. And I just have over the years continued to try to fit myself into a box that I don't really fit into, and painting has always just been something that I've been able to return to and over again. And so now I'm at the third or fourth iteration of my business where I am now in Iowa. But if you would have told me when I was 19 that I would have resorted to painting over the years so many times and now ultimately work for myself again at 30 years old, I would not have believed you, because that was never what painting was supposed to be for me. It was never the plan, but it's always something that I've just had. And later in my Bozeman years, I tried to transition my business more to muraling, and I really struggled to get jobs. And in the middle of that process, I moved back to Iowa, where I am now. And I essentially was out of work because nobody was booking me as a muralist, and I had to go back to a job. And that was the latest experience that I've had with employment. And again, it did not go well. It was a miserable 10 months for me. And I'm so happy now to be back to painting. And although in this video I'm working on my own home, I actually am specializing in cabinet painting, and it's been great for me and my business. So now it's day 3 of this project, and it's time to pick a color and sit in my overwhelm as the deck is in this state. And I knew I didn't want to keep the deck white because it just is so bright in the afternoon with the sun shining on it, but I didn't really know what color I was going to go with. And I ultimately picked this color, which is more of like a earthy green brown color, and I am excited about it. But it's a beautiful day to continue working on the primer, and so that is what I'm going to be doing. And I use a brush for the primer portion just to really get in the grain of the wood and underneath all of the chipped paint and things like that. But I do actually use a sprayer for the finish coat, which is really satisfying, as you'll see, because it goes a lot faster. But I use a roller a little bit, but am going back and back brushing this primer portion because, again, I just really want to make sure that I'm getting a good seal on that wood, because I really don't want it to chip as badly as it has at this point. But it's long overdue, and it just feels so good to even be getting to this point in this project, because it's starting to look better instead of worse now, which is always a good thing. And I think a part of why I kept going back to painting is because I actually like it. I actually like working with my hands and being like able to do satisfying things, like make things look better. And even though it's just primer, it's already looking so much better and just making the space feel so much better. All right, so this is the end of day 3, and this project has been quite the journey, as you have seen. Way more paint chipped off than I thought it would, which I think is a good thing, and I pretty much have it all primed, which it just feels so good to have a fresh start and to have gotten this far, because this is a project that I've needed to do for so long. And I'm really excited because I got my finished paint from Sherwin-Williams today, and I wanted to open it up and put a little tiny bit on because it is going to rain tomorrow, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to paint tomorrow, but I just want to see this color because I'm so excited. So let's open it up. I went with one of the lighter shades that I had picked out from the color cards, but it's still a pretty deep shade. But hopefully it's like a pretty green brown taupe color. Yay. It is, it's really deep. So I just want to put a little bit of this on. So I'm hoping that it comes across like the color that I'm hoping it will be, like a more earthy gray brown color. So it stopped raining and it dried out, and now I am full on going for it and spraying this color, and it's really great to get to this point and have everything go so fast from here. The sprayer is really good at getting in all of the nooks and crannies and the railings and things like that. So most of the work was the prep and the scraping and the priming, and even the power washing. So everything from here is going pretty well and pretty fast, and that is a lot of the story of not only how all painting jobs go, but also how entrepreneurship goes. And working for yourself is not always easy, and it's not glamorous, and it doesn't even always work. Like I mentioned, I faced failure with painting multiple times, and I'm really fortunate and privileged that I have a safety net that I can rely on in case things don't go my way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so much of a go-getter when it comes to, quitting my job and trying this out over the years again and again. And so I'm really fortunate to be able to take risks, and entrepreneurship is a risk. As great as it is to work for yourself, there's moments where things don't work out and you don't see the benefit, you don't reap the reward of the hours you put in and the work you put in for a long time, if you do at all. And so in that way, it is a risk. But for me, the entrepreneurial spirit is strong, and I will try to work as hard as I can to make things work for myself, because traditional employment just doesn't suit me, and it's really hard for me to go back to working within, an hourly situation when I'm able to, use my skill set to provide a service to people that they want and that they need. And so, yeah, I am happy to this year again be working for myself and to be painting. And it's not necessarily what I want to do forever, but it's a great skill for me to have. And I've always been able to fall back on it. And especially now, as I'm able to specialize professionally in cabinet painting for people, it has been easier to get the kind of high quality jobs that I'm looking for, so that I don't have to be working all of the time, because it is hard on your body, and just enjoying the work that I do. I am very much hoping that today will be the last day, and I am up against a couple of difficult things right now. The high is going to be in the 90s today, and it's really windy out, but I want to see what I can get done before the sun starts hitting this porch. And I need to go to town and get some more paint, because I sprayed absolutely the entire gallon that I got yesterday. But I do think it's looking really good. I am really liking the color and just how earthy it is. So let's see if I can pretty much get this wrapped up today, even in these temperatures. Alright, I am back to spraying, and along the past couple of days, I've started to question the color, and I really can't decide if I like the color or not. The white gave it such like a cottage vibe, and the brown is definitely a lot more neutral and like blending in, but it has its own benefits, and I've gone this far down this path that it's painted for now, and it's gonna stay this color for a while. So let me know what you think about the color. I'm really curious, and there is a reveal at the end of this video where you get to see it with more of the flowers and the landscaping, so you can make a better judgment. But an exciting part, I got cushions and pillows, and only one cushion came in this package, but I did order 2, and maybe I'll get even more cushions, but that's good for now. And this was the biggest disappointment in the world. Amazon sent me like this fake, I don't even know what it is, like this Rolex box, and I thought for a second there was gonna be a watch in here. Spoiler alert, there's no watch in there. It's just like an empty box. I have no idea why Amazon sent me that, instead of like these really cute pillowcases that I ordered for my outdoor pillows. And I was just so disappointed. So my outdoor pillowcases did not arrive for my outdoor pillows, but I do have my cushion, and it's actually really thick and comfortable, and I'm really excited about it. So I just really enjoy putting the finishing touches on the deck here, and here is the reveal. The best part of any paint job is always putting the finishing touches on it, putting like the swish plate covers back on, cleaning up all my supplies, and just being able to improve. Always, it's been other people's houses and spaces, but now I got to improve my own, and it feels so good. And here is my vision. My brother's here visiting, and we get to sit out on the deck and have it be a nice place to actually watch the sunset. So thank you for following along and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and hearing a little bit more about my journey to self-employment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.